Hello everybody! It's a new year and it's time for a new Ace Attorney in town! I don't know anything about this game. I'm so excited. Okay, select adventure. Okay, I don't know anything. I know that it's new people. Completely new people. Okay, new game. It's the Ace Attorney Adventures. This is the first one, right? Right? Yo!
The Empire of Japan.
After
Opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island.
Not that Western influence. Bruh.
The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by...
This is cinematic. What? Okay. Oh, someone's dead. Oh, it's an Ace Attorney game. What did I... Yo, it's like... I'm like watching an anime right now.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
The new Phoenix! Objection! I'm no murderer. Episode 1. Bienvenue à la Carnival. I'm gonna butcher so many pronunciations. Okay. Also, I turned on the transparency in the text box. Okay. November 22nd, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary Defendants Antechamber 5. So this is like a long time ago. And we're in Japan? I still can't believe it. I can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Hello. What? Bailiff. Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Objection! I'm no murderer. Sorry. One sec. Okay, hold on.
Nosuke.
No.
Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
That's it. And now, you know. More video.
Ryunosuke. 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 I'm gonna do my best. Ryunosuke.
A lot more. We'll see you
Okay.
there. Ding.
His name is Ryunosuke. Okay. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. Back. We're good. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume. There's so much. Ryunosuke. At the Imperial University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. Who are you? Hello? Aren't you cool? Okay. I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. Is that a samurai sword? So you will hold your tongue, sir. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. What a rookie. And yet, I still seem to know better than you on how court officer... And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right. Ryunosuke? Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Kazuma? Ryunosuke. I'm gonna keep practicing. There you go again, apologizing. Kazuma? Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yumei University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. That's what a murderer would say. There's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. Toughen up, little soldier. Stiffen up that upper lip. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent. Ryunosuke? I'm gonna get it. It might take me the whole game. Kazumi Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yumei University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. I swear, if this guy dies, I will be so upset. Look at him. It's not that impressive. I just zoned out. I totally missed that. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. For now, he's gonna die. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. These cutscenes are amazing. Congratulations, Kazuma! Looks like you're gonna get to study abroad at last. Oh wait, that was me. And then this is... I know! I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have to acknowledge my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend, of course. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Katsuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. What's the history? Oh, I can go back and read the text. That's so nice. Asugi, may I have a word? Ooh, the Maya Fey was that. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asugi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. Seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at the university before. His twin brother. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. Who the Maya Fey are you? this is awkward. If I may. Yes? Sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryonosuke Naruto, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yuma University. Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Katsuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Katsuma studying abroad. Asagi has told me about you. He are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt, Asagi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial... I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. Why? He's defending me in a murder trial. The fact that he's doing it at all is, like, amazing. Okay? Like, calm down, guys. Calm down, guys. Get it together. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. Just got DNA all over the computer there. I had a feeling Asagi may have chosen not to tell you. Bruh. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. What is this music? Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. Why don't you just tell me now? So I can prepare myself. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not... Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Oh, okay. Defendant. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. You know, I just realized there's an auto-play. Or not an auto-play, there's like an auto-save. Can I not cheat anymore? It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Katsuma Asagi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna defend myself? Of course, this is the defendant. The final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Katsuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. Am I gonna defend myself? And so, am I a law student? Do I even know a thing about this? With absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. See, that means it's saving. Also, I don't know how to skip the text. I could try different things. Okay. 2nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court, Judiciary, Room 2. Look at his eyes. So this is a courtroom. Ooh. The Supreme Court of This guy, I can't read the words in English either. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have demanded this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A secret trial? Trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military government officials may attend. What? But why? Wait, I forgot I'm a different guy now. It'll become clear in time, but for now, forgot I had anime voice on here. You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Hello, Judge. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhiro. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. Who is this? It's like off-brand versions. As the defense, Your Honor. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. Look at his eyes. It's just like, I made the request myself. Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? I do. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, you turn? I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. Or no, wait. I keep mixing up the voices. Wait. I'm standing here beside the defendant. Yes! That one jump scared me a little. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikitoba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. Means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikitoba should have stuck his nose in. Very well. This court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Every judge is just gonna have the same voice, I'm sorry. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhiro-san? Oh, yes, exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of the Can't I say words? Of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryonotsuki. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of E. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press E for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with E. You'll find details about the victim here. When you're done, just press Z to go back. He's my sex friend despite being a student, qualified defense lawyer as well. Yujin Mikitoba, a medical school professor at Imperial Yuma University. He's an authority in forensic medicine and Kasuma's mentor. Takatsuchi Achi, the lead prosecutor of this case, who will appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. Valid. The victim of this case, John Wilson. He was visiting professor of medicine at Yuma University. Oh no! He's from the British Empire? Oh no! Well, you in trouble, bro. So remember, everything to do with the case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Just wanted to make sure. So it was John Wilson, the most British name I've ever heard. University collar pin. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by blood from a gunshot to the chest. Bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Proof that I'm a student at the university. I always wear the collar on my jacket. Okay. You better keep his... Okay. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Then press R to present. Try it now. Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such a profound implications. Yeah, that's rough. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we've just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yuma University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. But I didn't do it. Stupid. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting English policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has the unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Woo! Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Right, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, defendant Naruhiro. I need to look this up too. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John Wilson, lose his life? Already looked that up. State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. Post-mortem report. Oh, wait. It's different buttons than Ace Attorney. Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I'd take it. Sorry, yes. That's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Or this is one. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, Consul. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. So that's the photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Katsuma Asagi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He He really has been sticking his oar in it. Hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Katsuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweat. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first, you jerk. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satora Hasunaga. I'm the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. I don't know what to voice him. Is he... Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really, really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants on Occidental Eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Hasunaga-san, I would kindly tell the court. You will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. The gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. That's his voice. Cough. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhiro. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with the gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. Oh, back. I didn't mean to do that. No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. I don't know his accent. It's gonna change every time. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Can I save? It's on autosave, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Okay. It's already... Whatever.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hasanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to the dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you like to. Why is he coughing up blood? Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Oh, there's something in there. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Sorry, I'm letting it loop because he deserves to cough like this. The head waiter's business card is sketched to the restaurant's layout. Okay, I can't hear it anymore. Please stop. Please stop. So, the court has now heard a precis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Arhoro. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further than this trial. The prosecution will have decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. But there was no one else there. Stupid. What do you think I should do, Katsuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Don't look at me like that. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You've said it. Professor Mikitoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. Don't look at me like that. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryonosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Oh gosh. Indeed. Prosecutor Achi, please continue with proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. You bear resemblance to a certain historical figure, sir.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupation for the court.
Yes, sir! The Great Nippon Emporia's Army Sergeant Lyric Aisa Nosa reporting for duty, sir! Happen.
Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles from the antiquity of the athletics of our nation, and conduct my trade for resistance and temple premises in the 2nd District. Cheerio, correct, good at your service.
That was hard. An antique dealer and a soldier, what an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other... It must be the diners at the other table at the waiter they mentioned. At the waiter they mentioned? Talk, normally. I can't read.
Myself, I habitually take tea from the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the coils of which we make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir! It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded the firearms, sir!
This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. It sounded like a baby crying. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening? The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yeah? Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw, at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir! Standing by the ready to report, sir!
What is that baby crying sound?
Unsavory memories of a most aromatic perfume.
I can't. It's fine. Ow! I make myself laugh. It's fine.
I was ingesting beefsteak. Oh wait, I was ingesting a regular beefsteak at the restaurant while having a technical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was enjoying the virtues of a particular fine called Corio, the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
What is that sound?
The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was in my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious Corio.
From the back? Wasn't he shot from the front?
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! That wicked universe... What is that? Oh, that's the knife. But what was... It's like a baby crying. That wicked university cadet, sir! The cruel and unforgivable enemy!
What time we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day?
But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. And when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... So maybe it's not the murder weapon. Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now!
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there's no room for doubt in the testimony of these two witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this
Yes!
What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next to the door told me to do it. How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know? It's a little obvious, you two.
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he simply carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to be a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it, irrelevant. Was that a good gulp? Katsuma is so commanding.
I'm kind of cute in that little headband.
Flow like the headband. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses.
Alright, this is where the battle really begins, right, Ryunosuke? But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. I can't say that with a straight face. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. His hand turned red. It's all or nothing. Whew. Ooh, that was cool. What the witnesses saw. I was adjusting a regular... Okay, one sec. Okay, I have the text skip back on. That's helpful.
Myself.
This character better not come back. I'm never doing this voice again. I was adjusting a regulation beef stick at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with this old man. Myself, what are you calling you? Okay, hold on. Myself was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniform varsity cadet, and from the back. Okay, how do we... Oh shoot, wrong button. What button was it? What press the... Oh, I can press.
Yes!
So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... Oh! I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet! Who else do you see around here in a black uniform? Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm on that man, from behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon. You disgust me! What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said. I can't put my mind. Just something's playing on my mind. Yeah, I don't think he was shot from the back. Check over the details that gathered in the court record. Okay. Present the evidence. Okay, how do I... Yeah, okay. Wow, stop it! I'm getting used to the controls. They're a little different. Okay. Present evidence. We want to present... Have suspect a witness during the first cross-examination. Oh, wow. Look at me. I got an achievement. The photo was to show the victim. He was shot from the front of the chest and subsequently died. Yeah. Present is R, not
Yes!
E. I am Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney. Okay, the text will go by a little faster now. I didn't realize I could skip it. I thought maybe this game was weird. So this video is going to be way longer than it should be. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there's no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Katsuma, what?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Yosei, no, sir. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniform varsity cadet fired an English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, is this a baby? Why is there a baby? What the? again. Did no one see the baby?
Certainly there's a clear discrepancy. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa?
Why does he have a child in his back?
Yes, sir, this structure that would appear to be indisputable.
Until the moment I heard the fire discharge, my eyes were
Firmly fixed on the delicious nut cut of a steak, sir.
What?
The last testimony the court heard was his proving one thing beyond all unreasonable doubt. I can't read. This witness, Sergeant Nosa, is a liar. Did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
That's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There's no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Oh! There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. Yay! So this is what an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely did not... Oh, I didn't mean to turn that on.
Yes!
Oh, shoot. Turn it off. And I never fired the gun. All I did was... Oh, there we go. All I did was pick it up off the floor. I did not mean to turn on autoplay. My bad. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
I felt like we were quite clear. The gun got into me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure.
Treasure?
Indeed, come on, my prize going. And each occasion when I visit our restaurant, and my uncle would go to take the foot of my pocket for chocolate pepper and just my property sake.
In hope of meeting a rich diner who... A rich diner who might like to buy from you?
I'm a bit under scrutiny over the military man that I purposed my whole treasure. Believe that he would purchase it were fine.
I'm gonna dislocate my jaw.
I did not, but I was presented with a little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes with the briefest moment, it was very more simply vanished.
The Coban.
Vanished? And being around under the table, I would increase my habit with falling down, and then it had happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed, I did, but I hated it not. But that was only with finding my absconded whole treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
Not the day the precious time was lost to me. No doubt that my governor got a pocketed the coin come for himself.
As I am sure everyone as president is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Alshi?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defense may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf in the back. My witness has further testimony to make.
I don't want to do this voice anymore.
Explain.
Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruto.
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. He will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
I declare the accusation.
Yes, sir! At once, sir! Awaiting this. Why is there a baby? Why is there a baby? Why is there a baby? Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder. Affirmative! The newest member of the Nelson family to rise up through the ranks, sir! Name, Ido. So cute. It would seem these straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido, geez darn. Your father is about to quell the enemy! Watch and learn, my boy. The true culprit. Even when I saw it wasn't the precise moment the Fred was discharged, it was almost the same thing.
Yes, finding a brand of my man, he was that young man in back. That much I did, didn't she?
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, running on by himself.
Therefore, no other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out, sir! Goodness. These testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone.
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all unreasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this photographic print at the scene of the crime, counsel?
Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. As plainly can be seen, there is only one place set.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print. It would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photograph evidence to the record. What in the world? I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to get written on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard. Why won't they just consistently let me cross-examine? That'd be great. We just heard leave no room for further doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh in the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takashi Auntie, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now it's your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kasuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses. Make it quick, understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times.
I'm focused. Locked in. I love that animation. Even what I saw was the price of marriage. I saw the same thing. Yeah, pointing his gun at the foreign man. He was that young lad in black. That much I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than Black Cat could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. What do you think, Ryunosuke? What's the matter? I can't find anything. I can't find a clear discrepancy anywhere. I'm done for. I can't win this trial. No. Listen, the first thing to do is calm down. You can't expect witness statements to be full of holes every time. Just take your time and try to tease more information out of them. What do you mean? You can choose to either press or present against each of the witness statements. If a witness is saying something you're suspicious about, press him with Q. With a little luck, you may get more details, which could prove to be crucial. Right, I see. The important point is, there's no sense in holding back. If anything even slightly jars with you, press the witnesses on it and impress them hard. Alright, got it. I'll press them like blocks of tofu. The professor wasn't alone in the restaurant, I'm sure of it. One way or the other, this cross-examination is going to prove I'm right. Okay. Even when I saw, it's almost the same thing.
Yes!
Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time, but I've already told you. I told you already. That's only because I picked it up off the floor.
Well, obviously, as a culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away.
I had just finished drinking my coffee, and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up, and at exactly that moment, bang. Bang. A gunshot rang in my ears. Sorry, what do you mean?
And no cause you found a pistol in a bowl and picked it up with precipitated extraction. Where I'd confessed it. I failed to pick up the carbon from the floor and found myself in an equally touching predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. The pistol in hand, standing over the burner.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
As you have been raised to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing callous in my ear. And yet, no one appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
If only there'd been more people at the dining there in time. Someone would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. A quiet time between lunch and dinner at any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Consul?
A medical herb card, Your Excellency. It would seem the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
Hada clinic. Hada. Like Hadi, but Hada. There would indeed appear to be an entry for this date in question. 19 November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
The victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation makes sense. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
But it does. I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for it? Yeah.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds? The court has already heard a conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon.
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. This court will grant the defense's
request.
Youngsters these days, forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend.
Whoa, that was a zoom up. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. Okay, what we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you.
You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Perhaps you've forgotten that these witnesses' testimonies leave no room for doubt.
I just want to see it. A report card from this found in victim's pocket.
Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Karakudo-san.
Dining all by himself. No other than the back could have dispatched English. Over and out. Press.
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth? What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. It's gonna flash again to the woman. There's a woman sitting across from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Someone's lying. Fortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right.
Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady.
But
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of this court's time.
there's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel something. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press space and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Okay, court record. Examine. Oh, can I not do that yet? Okay. Use up, down, side, side, okay. Okay. To rotate the evidence in all directions to examine it. By using WASD. Goodness, this is like a whole process. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. The crosshairs start to pulsate. Press space to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use up, down, right arrow, WASD, and space to inspect any areas of evidence that look suspicious. Okay. What? Looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a long-term treatment, that's why. The family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I've never consulting one. Well, if you were dead, that'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine. They give you painful injections. And then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient. With a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is a very bitter medicine indeed. Let's see. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It seems so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removal. Perhaps they use laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Huh, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure. Until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card information has been updated in the court record. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Everyone's almost put the same thing. Oh, I didn't. Okay. I meant to press the back arrow. I just didn't. Okay, so it's this one. Pointing a gun at the foreman. And furthermore, visual search, no one else present. And then dining by himself, we're going to present the evidence of the medical report card.
Yes!
Yes! Objection!
Well, I think,
What did you want? Hold yourself like liar.
I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, thanks for the advice. Stand up tall. Kurakura-san, this is the medical report card belonging to the victim.
Oh, okay. I don't eat. We love it, boy.
Comparing what is written on the report card with your witness statement. The hand. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But
Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered in the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
But that's, Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's just surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard before it's clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all. For the simple reason that there's no one else besides the person here who saw the woman.
This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That outburst have petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted? And furthermore, this music, it's so good. If I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what?
It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that...
Karakura-san,
What?
as you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally,
There's more?
you have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone.
But that can't possibly be the case.
Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic.
Expertly done, partner.
Objection!
What now?
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
It was at the other leg. It was at the lady's side. Oh, duh. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables at this restaurant case have turned. I said that wrong. Sorry, I can't read. Just can't. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beef steak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh, that's me. That means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim must have been... me. Me. That's crazy. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. I can't talk. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Katsuma.
Are you insane? You would take on the government?
Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have an issue with them. Those two witnesses on the stand.
What? What are you talking about?
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. They sound the same now. The voice is gone. So if it turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No!
For the baby. Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders.
That's right, at the minister. Just say you never found a gentlewoman. That's what they get told us.
Oh. What? What did you just say, Kirikoto-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
No, no, not. I was
Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What? What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements. Is it true, you pair?
Just one simple slip of the tongue. Look at the baby. Order. Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to trick us. I clicked.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
Then who's... He slaps it. It's so quiet. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well,
That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening, Ryunosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Achi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. Is it the judge? It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any idea about who might be behind this? If we can affirm we tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Or it's the woman. Of course, we need evidence where we can make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty would be severe.
please, wait. Your Excellency, I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
What does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes in my head. The waiter, probably. Right? Yeah, it'd be the... Unless it was the professor. But the waiter was quiet too. But he doesn't have any influence. The waiter doesn't have influence. However, this guy, who also, he knew. Because he's an authority.
I don't know why he did it. Otherwise, it's just the waiter, but he's a waiter. He doesn't have influence. It's this guy. Present.
Yes!
There. What do you make of that? I think, Counsel, that you may want to close your ears as well as your eyes. Oh, darn. I thought maybe. Otherwise, the size of disappointment in the courtroom may very well deafen you. Okay, hold on. Let me actually examine all this. The symbol of Yuma University. It's funny, most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like the spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Although, it does cause problems. Lots of students end up cutting their fingers on the badges. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders? A sharp pin for a sharp mind or something? That's funny. What? What's this? What's that? My personal student number is engraved in the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as a UMI student at the university. You might not come in, they say. Of course, you can get a new pin made if you can just tell them your number. I've actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. I always say to myself, I must forget to write it down somewhere. Then I forget not to forget that. That's funny. There's only so many people it could actually be, but... Okay, not that one. Oh, wait. We can examine everything? Victim, John Wilson, time of death. Single bullet fired close range. Fatal harm, trauma. No exit wound. Bullets not pass through the body. Okay. Photograph of the witness. Wait. Hold on. Steak's not even like eaten. Why is he facing away from the table? What's going on here? Okay, hold on. This plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing shows the woman you say were there. Exactly. That's not all. Look here in the upper left. To where it says kitchen? Oh yeah. What of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study hard, Ryunosuke. This plan of the restaurant is something. Oh, okay. So he's just stupid. Chief Inspector. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see that it says witness's name here? Well, yeah, the business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh. Chief Inspector. Satura Hanachaga. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. Let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence, so they're wielding it somehow here. Waiter's business card information. Okay, it was the waiter. Oh, it was the waiter. Well, okay. We should examine everything at this point. This is so confusing. Why was he facing the other way? That's weird. I already did that one. Okay. Well, it's fine. $6.58. 650. So 6.8. Let's see, maybe it goes back a little. Okay, one sec. I'll catch you up. I have to say though, I think I like the idea of the twist being him. That would be kind of fun. You know, Mr. Mustache Man? Anyway, it's this guy because he's important.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be this dude. Nagasan, the waiter who took the stand earlier.
Objection!
Poppycock. What possible reason would the waiter have to make those witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter. I love this music.
What if he truly were?
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth is proven by this evidence.
Yes!
I like throwing around accusations. The plan of the restaurant sketch with the man in question? I agree, it shows a great detail. I'm not sure if we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hoganaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of this business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So witnesses there in the stand. Was it, in fact, the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Oh, he's back. Inspector Hosonaga. Why are they all at the stand at the same time? I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. Oh yeah, he was... Hey. And I thought it'd be the professor. Out for vengeance. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. Why was his mouth bleeding?
You mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Of course! Your salary must be terrible! He's as stupid as Felix. I was working undercover. Undercover? He's so stupid. Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of the homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. I'm trying. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. And that is indeed true. Clearly, you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I'm led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair. Beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an English woman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the borough. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman is the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman is the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands you name the lady at once. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jezile Brett. She's indeed a foreign student studying at this research laboratory of Yuma University's medical faculty.
What? What's happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir? You will locate this Jezile Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given for the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly.
So it won't be a problem?
Nothing will get in my way. Why is he coughing blood?
Does he have the plague?
Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Jezile Brett to the witness stand. Jezile? Jezile? Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Yo, that's crazy! Ah, yes! This is awesome! And how do I... Oh, shoot! Shoot! Shoot, 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 shoot. Okay, it's saved. Okay, ignore that. We'll see you next time for more great Easter.